Welcome, time traveler. Sit back, close your eyes, and let your imagination take you thousands of years into the past, to a time when the sun was a god and the river was life, to a time when the sands held more secrets than the stars in the sky. This is the land we call ancient Egypt. But today we won't just talk about pyramids and gold. Today I will tell you a story about blood and steel, about wit and potions, about a burning heart and cold revenge. A story that intertwined the destinies of a warrior, a healer, and a pharaoh. A story that began with war and ended with a curse. Our story begins on the hot sands of Sinai, where the wind walks between the rocks like the hooves of fallen warriors. Here, on the border of Egypt, the army of Pharaoh Merneptah, son of the mighty Ramses the Great, encounters hordes of sea peoples, ruthless invaders from distant lands. Among the Egyptian warriors, one stands out, a young charioteer named Sety, not in honor of the god of chaos, but in honor of an ancestor. Sety is muscles sewn from tendons, a gaze hardened in the fire of battle. His chariot is a whirlwind on the battlefield, and the bow in his hands always finds the heart of the enemy. He does not fight for glory. He fights because he has sworn an oath to protect the black land of Kemet, the land of his fathers. His mind is as simple and direct as a spear. The enemy in front, his brothers by his side, the pharaoh and the gods behind. But one day, after a fierce battle in which Sety saved the life of the pharaoh's son, Prince Amenan, he is summoned to the pharaoh's great tent, Merneptah. His face lined with worry, not age, looks at the warrior. Your loyalty and courage have not gone unnoticed, Sety, from this day forward. You are the personal bodyguard of my son, Amenan. Your body will be his shield, and your soul now belongs to the throne. Sety bows to the ground. This is the highest honor, and the heaviest punishment. For now his war is not only a battle on the field, but also a battle in the shadows of the palace, amid the whispers of conspirators and the gleam of treacherous knives. And now, my listener, let us move north, to the sacred city of Sais. Here, in the great house of life, Pharaoh, it smells of dried herbs, papyrus and thousands of years of knowledge. Neferibet works here. She is not a priestess in the usual sense. She is a sunat, a healer. Her knowledge is a combination of prayer, magic and the most subtle science. She knows how to sew a wound so that the scar becomes barely noticeable, knows the potions that calm fever, and even performs complex operations that seem miraculous. Neferibet is the granddaughter of the pharaoh's chief physician. She has studied the Ebers and Edwin Smith papyri, which describe the heart, bones, and secrets of the brain. But her greatest gift is observation. She sees not only illness, but also pain in the eyes. She believes that every illness begins in the soul. Her life is the silence of libraries, the rustle of papyrus, the singing of prayers, until the day a royal ship arrives at the gates of the Pharaoh with an important passenger. He is a wounded warrior from the prince's personal guard. He has a deep spear wound in his shoulder that has already begun to fester. The warrior's name is Sety, and when Neferibet first sees him, she sees more than just red, infected flesh. She sees his clenched jaws, a groan trapped in them, his eyes that continue to scan even the hospital room, searching for threats. She sees strength in him and incredible fatigue. To heal the body, the spirit must be healed. While she removes the infected flesh, washes the wound with wine and copper, bandages it with honey and leaves, she talks to him about the stars in the desert, about the calm of the Nile, about something far from war, and a miracle. Under her quiet, confident voice, under the touch of her warm and calm hands, the warrior begins to reveal himself. And an even greater miracle, under her gaze, full not of pity, but of respect and understanding, his own heart begins to tremble differently than in the face of death. Days of treatment turn into weeks. Sety recovers, but his heart is struck by a new disease, a disease for which there is no medicine. He falls in love. He becomes attached to this wise woman, whose hands carry life, whose words heal the soul better than any ointment. He, who has seen only death, suddenly wants to live for her and Neferibet. Her world, as wheeled and orderly as her drawers of medicine, is overturned. This rough warrior has brought the smell of sand, metal and indomitable will into her quiet kingdom. He listens to her stories about potions as if they were the most interesting tactics of battle. He looks at her not as a priestess or a healer, but as a woman. Their worlds are like opposites, war and peace, steel and silk, screams and silence. but that is why they complement each other so perfectly. But their love is a betrayal. He is the guardian of the heir to the throne. His life belongs to the pharaoh. She is a healer, destined to marry a priest or official. Their union is impossible. They meet secretly, in a shady garden near a temple, under the guise of administering last rites. Their conversations are promises that, they know, may never come true. Their touches are theft of time from fate. This love is like a rare lotus flower that has blossomed in the heart of the desert, beautiful and incredibly fragile. Meanwhile, a storm is brewing in the Memphis palace. The old pharaoh Merneptah is ill. Prince Amenemhis, young, ambitious, and corrupted by power, already smells the throne. He sees in the faithful Sety not only a bodyguard, but also the perfect weapon. He orders Sety to deal not only with protection, but also with problem solving. First, these are threats to potential traitors. Then, political opponents. Sety, in love and dreaming of a free life with Neferibet, carries out orders with disgust in his soul. Each order is another chain that chains him to the palace. Amenemhis learns about Neferibet, not about their relationship, but about her abilities. My father is weakening. You, a warrior who knows this healer, bring her to the palace. Let her prolong his life, or hasten his departure, depending on what is more profitable. Seth is growing cold inside. He knows this is a trap. If he refuses, he will expose himself and the danger to Neferibet. If he agrees, he will drag his beloved into a deadly game for power. He takes Neferibet to the palace on the pretext of treating the pharaoh. They exchange only one look, full of horror and determination. Neferibet begins to treat the pharaoh. She uses all her knowledge to truly alleviate his suffering, remaining faithful to the oath of a healer. Amenemhis presses her, hinting at more powerful means. She pretends not to understand. One dark night, when the god Anubis rules over the Nile, Pharaoh Merneptah dies, a natural death under the watchful eye of Neferibet. But this is not enough for Amenemhis. He needs a sacrifice. He needs an extreme one to strengthen his power and get rid of those who know too much. He accuses Neferibet of poisoning the pharaoh. Sety, standing guard at the door of the throne room, hears this accusatory cry. His mind is shattered. The oath of a warrior, and love. He makes a choice. He bursts into the room and falls to his knees before the new pharaoh. Oh, Lord of the Two Lands, this woman is innocent. I, your faithful servant, can testify to this. She was only following my orders, as I am yours. It was a desperate attempt to take the blame on herself in order to save her. But Amenemhis only smiles coldly. He sees everything. He sees their eyes searching for each other even in this terrible moment. Treason, the pharaoh says quietly, a double betrayal. Of my guard and of the healer I brought myself. You have united against the throne. You have united your hearts against the will of the pharaoh. His sentence is cruel and symbolic. Sety will not be executed as a warrior. He will be stripped of all his titles and sentenced to life imprisonment in a stone cage in the depths of the desert, where he will die of heat and thirst, forever deprived of the freedom he so craved. Neferibet will not be burned at the stake as a poisoner. She, the healer who gives life, will be walled up alive in a burial chamber in the necropolis, next to the mummies of those she could not save. They will be separated by the gods themselves. Him under the desert sun, her in the darkness underground. Before the execution, they are allowed one last conversation under the supervision of a cruel guard. They do not cry. They stand facing each other. Neferibet quietly, my heart will beat for you even in the dark. Sety, a single tear drips from her eyes and freezes on her cheeks. And mine will forever remain in your hands that carry life. Then Neferibet, looking straight into the eyes of Pharaoh Amenemhis, utters words that make the throats of the crowd of priests standing nearby go dry. You fall, Pharaoh, who separated living hearts. It is not Anubis who will meet you across the river of death, but the wrath of Osiris himself. Your family will wither like a lotus without water. The sands of time will swallow your name, and your tomb will become an empty void that even thieves will bypass. May your soul wander forever, never finding peace, until the love you tried to kill is freed from the bonds of oblivion. The curse falls like a silent but faint film over the entire hall. Amenemhis pales, but nods to the guards. They are taken away. Centuries passed. Pharaoh Amenemhis did not rule for long. His tomb was indeed plundered in ancient times, and his name was erased from many lists of kings. His family quickly died out. The curse came true, and the legend of the warrior and the healer lived on. It lived in the songs of the fishermen of the Nile, in the whispers of the priests in the dark corridors of the temples. They say that sometimes on hot days in the desert you can see the shadow of a huge chariot rushing towards the horizon. And on full moons in the ancient tombs you can hear a soft female voice, humming a healing prayer. They wait. Their souls cannot go further, because they were separated by force. And they say that whoever finds the lost seal of Sety and the amulet of Neferibet in the form of a scarab beetle, and joins them together near the ruins of the old tomb, will lift the curse. And then two souls, a warrior and a healer, will finally fly to the field of Ialu to finally meet eternity together. And so our story ends. The story is not just about love or death. It is a story about choice, about the conflict between fate and desire, between service and freedom, about how even the power of the Pharaoh is powerless before the right of the heart, and about how the most powerful curses are born not from hatred, but from broken love. Sand carries everything away, but not stories. They continue to breathe in every breath we take, as we gaze upon the stars that Egyptian knights once saw. Sleep in peace, traveler. May your dreams be free from curses.